Today, we're going to be going to Blue Basin Waterfalls. It's located in Diego Martin to the very end. You can't pass it because there's nothing past that but bush. The first thing you do, you locate the Blue Basin Road. That's this long road coming up here. You follow the road, you are not turning off anywhere. You just follow the main road coming all the way up. This area here is called the Blue Basin Gardens for obvious reasons, but again, you're still following the road. Now it's kind of curved at this point, but you're still not turning off anywhere. You're following the road all the way up. Luckily, if you don't know where you're going, you literally can't pass Blue Basin Waterfalls. It's the last point. Unless you can fly, there's no way further to go, so you can't miss it. The first thing you're going to reach is the lower level. There are two levels. This part here is not the waterfall yet, but it's a nice spot to come, relax with family. There's a nice open area here. You can see it's well kept, not no bushy area. People just have picnics here, children running about playing football, small goal, cricket, all kind of different things takes place here. You can bathe over here as well. Well, I should say down here because it's the lower level. Unfortunately, on this day, I'm not sure what they call it, if it's low tide or low water flow or what, but it's not looking as flowy as it normally looks. On top of that, I think they have to dredge here because usually this basin part here is a bit deeper, but you know, it's sediment coming down, it fills up, so there's less room to bathe. So they have to come up here every now and then with a tractor and like dredge it to make it go back to being an actual basin, because after all, it's Blue Basin. It's not Blue Puddle, so this puddle vibe is not it, but you can still have a bit of fun here. You know, you have kids and stuff. It's good for the kids because they can't drown. You literally can't drown here unless you're just, you know, natural selection is against you personally. So it's a good thing for the kids. Aside from that, like I said before, nice area to run about, have a picnic, hold a barbecue. And because it's so far from like civilization, it's not that far, but it's far enough where cars come up here and test the music and stuff because it won't disturb anybody. There's no one living in this immediate vicinity, so you can blast the music as loud as you want and it won't disturb anybody. To get to the waterfall, you have to go up this road here. So you can drive up and park on top, and then from there, you have a short walk up a hill. It's not that far. It takes you from this point here to inside probably about 10 minutes, and I'm fat, so you might be doing 5 if you're not fat. So you walk up this slight incline while listening to the voice of nature. I'm going to do a bit of fast forwarding here because I don't think you all want to see the entire 10-minute long walk. Mind you, be mindful, when you reach to this point, you're going to see a sign up ahead that says waterfall. Now, I hadn't been up here for a long time, since childhood. I'll give you that story later on. So I didn't remember where the waterfall was. So I'm assuming the sign is saying waterfall. So I walked up that hill. Don't do that. The waterfall is down here to the right. They need to put waterfall this way for slow people like myself. So I will know it's this way and not up the hill. But we are pressing on. I'm going to do a bit of fast forwarding here, but just know that this is the exact trail you're going to take to and from the waterfall. Don't deviate from this at all.
Yeah.
And then you have arrived. This is the waterfall area here. Now, all here people can't bathe. I will show you all it as I'm leaving. I will show you all a closer look at all here. But ahead is the waterfall. It just comes into view where you can see the water falling, and most times there are people bathing here. Like for example, this is Thursday. So I'm recording this Thursday, the 26th of July. And you see, it just comes into view. And here we have it, Blue Basin Waterfall with the blue basin at the bottom. It's more of a green now though, so maybe we should rename this the Green Basin, but anyway, I digress. It's about, I would say 31 feet, average in here is about 31 feet up, and children and adults do go on top here and dive off and reach into the basin. I've never attempted it because I love life, and I recommend you love life as well. Now, this is where most people would and should stop. Further up though, there's a place called Coffin Hole and Slip and Slide. Me personally, I'm not going to go anywhere that name Coffin Hole or Slip and Slide. The name telling me to stay away, so I've never been up on them ends up there. But further up, apparently there are other pools up there. I will stay, this is the furthest I will reach. You have a next area here where you can go and bathe and stuff like that. And it's not too deep. It's pretty shallow, but deep enough to swim about in. So if you have kids that are on the smaller side, you can put them in here and let them splash about, and you can sit on the rock right there and monitor them. Always make sure and monitor them because there are parts that look shallow but really not shallow. But all along this area here, you have little small basins. For example, I was walking out and I saw this girl here. She was talking to somebody. I assumed she was going mad or something, but then I started hearing voices in the bush and I realized in the back there as well, some child or something was there and she was talking to them or keeping an eye on them. So all along here, you have little pockets, little basins of water that you can go and splash about in and just enjoy nature. One last thing to note though, it's not too steep, but if you're wearing slippery shoes, just know that certain parts can be mossy, especially if rain had just fallen and the place is damp and wet. You will slide off and fall into the precipice. You don't want that. Wear proper shoes. Certain parts are good, like all here is okay, but then you are walking, like this is me exiting, and there are parts where you have to have proper balance and things. For example, this type of wooden step I'm approaching here, which is a kind of makeshift step because it's like a piece of wood at the bottom there, and then you have what seem like the remnants of a step, and then you're walking on some tree roots. So you have to keep your balance safe. If you're not somebody who have good balance, be extra careful when walking, especially along this part here, because you could fall off. And as you saw, it's jagged rocks, and if you hit your head on that, that's the end. All in all, nice area to spend the afternoon. Just 4 things to keep in mind. Come up as a group, wear proper shoes, don't go in deep waters if you can't swim, and lastly, this sign here is telling you where the waterfall is. Don't go straight up the hill. Don't do that. Don't go up there. I mean, you could, if it's a hike and you want more hike, you can go up there, go by the waterfall, take a look at things. But if you're really going by the basin part, you have to make the right and go down there.